and narrow down by, if you're developing a faceted search, this is a good way to decide how to do it. URL structures, a glossary, and then your non-web properties. So this is an example of the taxonomy now applied to a wireframe of navigation. So this is exactly what I had on the paper, but in a wireframe. I do want to make a note, a pro tip: taxonomy is not navigation. Okay, taxonomy is not navigation. Navigation might change a lot more frequently than your taxonomy is. Navigation might include secondary navigation or in-page navigation. Taxonomy is not navigation. If you want more clarification on that, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it after this talk. Governance plan is the idea of, when you create a taxonomy, it's not like a deck of wireframes that you're doing in Agile. You just make a set of wireframes and you use it and you throw it away, and you never see it again, and you never think about it again. Taxonomy really needs to be this living, breathing document that you get other people to use, you get other people to understand the value of it, and then you come up with a way to govern it. Who's going to update it? When does it need to be updated versus when you just need to follow the taxonomy that's there? How does it get updated? Where is it stored? Are we doing version tracking in case we decide that our taxonomy is bad and the changes that we just made are screwing up our whole world? Those are some things to think about for sure. And then, so all in all, I mean, one of the questions that we were asked earlier, we were interviewed, Alberta, and one of the questions that the guys that interviewed us said, well, so how would you sell this to a client? Well, you don't sell it to a client. Either a client needs it or they don't. And the value that the client got out of this was that they had a user-centered, learnable navigation now that was really consistent. They had uniform language that they could use across all content creators and use with all vendors. So if they had somebody, if they're outsourcing their videos, they could give the taxonomy to the vendors and say, these are the words you use in the video. These are the words you use in the copy and the metadata that you put on the video that you provide to us. They were able to reposition their controlled vocabulary with a brand. So it means that, they wanted medically authoritative but still accessible. And uniformly, the language that we came up with was medically authoritative and accessible. It supported some new business goals I had in terms of having men included in the way that they were organizing things, having different types of surgeries that weren't really currently covered on their website. It was easy for us to point out, here's some holes in your content. If you really want to talk about blah procedure, it's not covered at all. So in this taxonomy, you know where you need to build your content now. Improve findability, SEO, navigation, site search, and tagging. So made it a lot easier for people to find the content that was there. And hopefully, this isn't vetted yet because I haven't launched a new site, but hopefully this is becoming a living, breathing part of their process and add value for years to come. This is a great starting point for them. So here's the project lifecycle. If this is, and again, this is not a, here's how you do taxonomy. This isn't a workshop. This is just what I did, and that it worked for me. So first I started with understanding the problem, looking at what the purpose of taxonomy was, coming up with strategy, assessing the existing taxonomies, doing the keyword and user research, looking at some competitors' approaches, doing some term sorting, talking with a client, getting their approval, generating all the little things that come after the synonyms and the polyhierarchical relationships, educating my client about the application and how they should use it, and then coming up with a governance plan. So the main point is, you do it once, you will see that taxonomy is awesome. When I started this project, I was scared of it, and by the time I got done, I felt really confident. I felt like I was able to add tangible value to the project I was working on, and I felt like I really understood how to create a user-sensitive taxonomy. So, this is my summary slide. I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it on SlideShare. But the main point is that there's a lot of value to doing taxonomy. And I would really encourage you to get past your fear of it and just jump in and try it. And I think the other thing I wanted to say before I kind of concluded what I was talking about here is, again, you'll notice that I didn't say that I was magic and I woke up and I knew how to do taxonomy. I had to educate myself. I had to be willing to fail. I had to be willing to make some weird decisions. I'd be willing to tell people I don't even know what this is and ask for help. And I would encourage you to reach out to the people in this community that are willing to help and say, I need some help. How did you do this? Talk to the managers at your company. Talk to the people that are here. Send me an email. And I'm happy. Casey, do I reply to emails? Okay, Casey came after me. I reply to emails. So reach out to us. you're not in a vacuum, and this is really awesome. And I really hope you go ahead and try it. So thank you, and I'm going to hand it over to Alberta now.
Well, thank you, Jessie. Jessie's great, and she gave you all the big words. So now we get to see how we do stuff. You know, all the big words. English is not my first language, so I leave them. You know, the polysyllables, I leave them to the experts. And we're gonna crank out the post-its and our markers and start sorting cards. So, what is card sorting, and how does card sorting work in the context of taxonomy? Card sorting is just a tool. It's one of the many things that you can do in order to create a taxonomy, but even more important than that, in order to create meaning. Because this is the business we're in. We want to understand how things work, what goes into a product, into a website, into a process, and make it understandable for others. And by doing things, we can make the process a lot easier. As Jessica explained, taxonomies are not scary things, they're just collections. And they're collections that are created by organizing concepts, words in this case, into categories, which is something that we do every day with everything, you know, with everything around us. So it's not overly complicated. But how do we do this effectively? We can try using card sorting, which is it really is a series of tests. And it's Jessie was talking about the failure in her project. She was saying she created this big wall of post-its where she had annotated all the topics, but then she didn't have anybody to check what she had done. She didn't get any feedback. All she could output to her client, all she could deliver was her own thinking. There was no feedback mechanism, which is what we want to do to make sure that what is understandable for us is understandable for other people as well. And this is especially true if you work in small teams or in a team of one. You put all of yourself out there and you take tremendous chances by opening the pool of people that share the responsibility of making decisions and throwing out their concepts for everybody to understand. Not only you increase the pool of concepts that you can draw from, but you also have a larger segment of what you're doing explained. So in terms of card sorting, why do we want to use it? Card sorting doesn't give you taxonomies, it doesn't give you navigations, it doesn't give you sitemaps, but it can inform all of these things. And as we were saying earlier, when Jess and I were interviewed, having a strategy for the structure, having an understanding of how the information is perceived, is read, is found, and is replaced, is a critical piece of information when we design systems. And the more complex the system, the more important it is to understand how the information that the system is based on plays into it. So taxonomies and card sorting can help us get inputs on the design process. They can help us define hierarchy of content and structure, as Jessie was showing. I wrote their design navigation manual and taxonomies, but a card sort doesn't design anything for you. It just gives you the information you need to design it yourself. And card sorts are also really interesting, as I will show you, because they help you understand what are called mental models, but really how people think. So I find myself battling with this in my job every day. I work for a research center at UCLA, and interestingly enough, for an information architect, I do LAUX, which is really funny. But I realize that people, especially in academic setting, but this is true for everybody, for every long-standing organization, are creature of habit. So we have our own internal nomenclature where we know what we call things, but that doesn't necessarily translate into what our users call the same things. And I find that when I rely only on the internal mental models in terms of the systems that we deploy, when we look at the analytics, which is something else that, and the conversion rates, which is something else that Jessie was talking about, things don't work. People just don't find what they're looking for. And in my case, we work with public policy data, public health data, so it's your data. And if people can't find it, they can't address the issues that we aim to resolve in the first place. And this is why it's important that we understand how everybody works. So how do you do a card sort? It's easy. You grab some people, you give them Post-its. We're not going to do a card sort with your Post-its. And you ask them to put them in a place, in places and in groups in a way that makes sense to them. How does that inform a structure of a website? There are different type of card sorts, and they have they're used for different type of things. And I want to ask for I want to apologize to Donna Spencer, who is the goddess of card sorts, and she is the person who wrote the Bible on card sorting. Because I know she really does not like closed card sorts, but they have, I believe that they do have their own space and their own purpose. So in an open card sort, what you do is not what Jesse did.
Well, you can't even call it a card sort.
Well, it was kind of a card sort.
It was an affinity diagram. It wasn't really a card. Okay. Only one person did it, wasn't you?
All right. It wasn't a test. It was a study. Let's call it a study, right? Here we're testing. So in a real test, you would get a bunch of people, give them Post-its, tell them, and on these Post-its you would write the words that you want them to organize, or topics, or concepts, or whatever you want to call it. And they organize them in a way that makes sense to them and that is unconstrained. You don't give them neat little boxes where they put their concepts. They make up the boxes as they go. This type of card sort works really well with large numbers of participants, and it is pretty much what you want to use. So I was talking to someone with Marla before the talk, and she was asking, well, how do I start doing a taxonomy? What do I figure out? How do I figure out how to go about creating one when I don't have anything? And an open card sort might be the way to go, because you really start with just your own ideas and you validate them, and you validate them against a large pool of people. Closed card sorts, sorry Donna, are completely different in that the test provides the Post-its with little words, and then it gives you boxes where you would put those words. And generally, these works best with a smaller number of participants. And what it's used for is to validate open card sorts, or at least I believe that this is what it should be used for. It helps you validate that what you have come up with the first larger text unconstrained.
So if I was going to add one in mine, I would have probably just done, given my time constraints, I would have just done it
to a closed card sort. Like the one that I put out a couple of weeks ago on Twitter and Facebook, we had already done an open card sort, and we had an internal taxonomy that we wanted to check. So we did a closed card sort, and I'm going to post the link on SlideShare with the slides if you want to take a look at it, just to make sure that the categories of the tool that we're working on do match what users think. I haven't collected all the responses that I wanted to collect, so I don't know what the results are just yet, but it's out there, and if you want to participate, that would be phenomenal. So if you do both, an open and closed card sort is what is called a combo card sort, and we already talked about that. Now, how do you design the test? First of all, you need to know what you want to test, right? So you create your content topics. And if you're working on an existing product, you can take navigation labels, you can take page titles, you can take concepts, you can take whatever you want. The one thing, though, that you do have to pay attention when you create your list of topics is the level of granularity of what you're testing. So you don't, I know I used the word polysyllable, it was Jess's department, but by granularity, I mean, you don't want to group together concepts that are on different hierarchical level within the website. So you don't want to test categories against tags, against sections, against, say, languages. You want to make sure that whatever you're testing, it doesn't matter what it is pretty much at the same hierarchical level in the structure of the product that you're testing. You want to prepare the cards. We're going to be focusing today on remote card sorting, so online. So you want to make sure that you recruit your participants. And as I said, the larger the pool, the better it is. You can always close the test before you have a huge number of responses, but you want to collect as many as you can. And I'm going to show why later, because depending on the number of respondents, you can perform different types of analysis. You know, I believe that testing even with tiny groups, even 5 people, is better than not testing. You might, if you use automated analysis, it might not be as, as accurate, but I would, you said it yourself, that's where you fail. Yeah. So you could just go to your neighbor, if you can't find anybody who will respond to your test, go to your neighbors, show it to them. It doesn't have to be sophisticated or complicated, and we all have the capacity to analyze the results, and I'll show you how. So you want to email or send a link to the participants if you're doing an online card sort. You want to provide instructions, and the instructions are really more for yourself than for the public, because people don't read instructions anyway. But fortunately, card sorts are pretty simple to understand. And the softwares that are available, both the free versions and the paid versions, are so easy to understand and so intuitive, to use an overused word, that anybody could do it. And of course, you want to make sure that when people are done, that you thank them. If you promise compensation, you want to make good on that, or you're going to lose face and they're never going to help you ever again. And I like to share the results of my tests with my users. You might not want to, you might be subject to an NDA. Situations are different, but I find that users do appreciate knowing how they play the role into a certain study. So, when you choose topics, as I said, you can choose whatever you want. For the purpose of this test, of this demo, I chose to test at the individual page level. So individual and then grouping into navigation items. There's a gazillion tools out there, depending on your budget, depending on what you're trying to do. You might want to choose one or another. The tool I chose to show is Optimal Sort, which is a paid solution. I mean, they have a free account that allows you to run a test with, I think, up to 30 cards and up to 10 responses. But I think from a demo point of view, it's the one that explains the best how tests work and what you can get out of them, which is exactly what you should focus on. So here, this is what the users see. They see the cards, which are, in this case, if you can't read, we're talking about a fictitious phone company, as if it were AT&T or Verizon, and we're looking at solutions. Cell phones, plans, home solutions, broadband, etc. So you can see international calling, accessories from the phone, internet connection speed test, add-on services. There's a bunch of pages that are in disorder, in chaos. And when you prepare the cards, you want to make sure that the users understand what you mean with the card. So in some cases, it's self-explanatory, like pay my bill online. In others, add-on services from my home phone, you might want to clarify what you mean by that particular label. And so you can add, for instance, voicemail call forwarding. So the test is done in a very simple way from the user's point of view. They drag the cards from here into this area. The instructions are pre-populated by the software, and they can drop them into different groups. So every time, if they drop this card into under this, it's going to go in this group. If they drop it in the white space, it's going to go in a different group. It's going to create a new group. Up there, users, this is an open source, they have an option to rename the group and decide what they want to call it, and that will tell you exactly how they look for information and how they think. So here they have started grouping pages, and they have, as I said, this is a fictional cell phone company. So under account we have payment all online, the date that my next home phone and internet bill is due, change my home plan. FAQ is what to do when my cell phone has been broken or stolen, etc., etc., etc. Once they're done organizing all the cards, they click finished. Optimal sort I like a lot because it allows users to leave comments, and comments are precious. This is a pretty dry exercise. I mean, the only the creative component is in the arrangement of the cards and in naming the groups, but it doesn't really tell you what the users feel at that point of view. And I find that with swords, where you have the possibility of reading the comments, I get a ton of feedback that proves itself really interesting. So when Jesse was talking about putting topics or informations into, one category or multiple, this is where the comments section becomes really important, because users tell you, well, say, what to do when the cell phone has been broken or stolen could be under FAQs, but I'm used to finding it on website X under something else, self-help or tutorials, etc. And you can then create your taxonomy and your site navigation based on the information that you get from the feedback, as well as from the actually card data. Now, once the user clicks finished, they're done. This is what, they're done with it. They get their thank you thing. If you promise them an Amazon gift certificate, they'll get that. You want to follow up on it. And now, let's take a look at what we see. So, our study is closed. Optimal sort is really incredibly well organized. So we have all these tabs: overview cards, categories, similarity matrix, etc., etc., etc. So in the cards view, we're looking at all the cards that we have created. This is our input into the text. We created the cards, we gave them names. They can be names that we just made up in the case of a product that we're expanding. They can be existing pages in the website that we're working on. So these are the categories. So we get a list of all the groups that have been created. And what I really like about optimal swords, and I know this sounds like like I'm picking them, but I'm not. I just really like their product. If you click on a category, you see all the cards that have been created. So you actually see, you have at the same time a tree of swords, where you can look at the top level structure and you can see not just which cards have been put in, but how many. And that's important because it tells you, over large numbers, it tells you, it shows consensus or dissensus against, dissensus I think I just made up, right? Dissent against a certain type of structure. Now, the similarity matrix is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal thing, and it looks really cool. It looks like those, old-fashioned distance maps where you could go from San Francisco to New York, and you went down and you looked here. This does pretty much the same thing. It tells you, if you look at these two cards, change my home internet plan online, deals for home internet and phone bundles. Yes, the intersection of this tells you how many people pair these cards together. How is that information relevant to me? Well, if people consistently pair cards together, even that tells me that they're going to be looking for them together and they're expecting to find them together. So the similarity matrix is really, really useful. Once I take a look at the similarity matrix, with all these numbers, again, here they do a really great job of visualizing what's happening with the darker hues representing higher numbers. So it gives you a bird's eye. And this is something also that stakeholders, people that you report to, your boss, your colleagues, can understand because, it's very visual. And you can point, and like I'm doing, you can show them exactly why you're thinking of putting a certain things there. So once you've gone through this, you can look at all the labels that you have, and we call these standardized categories. And this grid tells you how many times a certain card has been filed or organized under a certain category. So this gives you a linear sort of look at what your users think. Now, here the next tab is incredible. It shows you how your users think. This is a static demo. We don't have the live tool because I didn't want to spend attached to my computer. I do that every day. But so we're looking at a dendrogram, a mental model or a mind map. There are actually two types of dendrograms. Here you look at the card. They both have the cards and they both look the same. But this is called the actual agreement method. And it's also called the skeptics method because it's factual. This works, it just relies on data. There's no predictions. It's just hardcore math. And this tells you that X% at any given point in time in the tool, actually if you hover over the labels over here, it'll highlight the relationship between cards. And this tells you exactly that X% of participants agree exactly on this type of topic. So here you could say that downloadable games for my cell phone and true Windows I can buy are always grouped together. That makes sense to the users. And so that's probably where you should put them when you create your site navigation. Now, this is called the best merge method. And there is quite a bit of math involved, which we are all very thankful that we don't have to do on our own. At least I am. And this tells you specifically that X% of the participants in the test agree with parts of the grouping. So it gives you an idea, in statistical terms, it gives you the probability of people being able to find this kind of information. Now, based on this, based on this type of predictive behavior, you might wonder whether, taxonomies and, by extension, navigations and site structures can be automated. And until now, actually, as of this day, it really cannot be done. But something weird happened to me just recently that I want to talk to you about when it comes to dendrograms. So this is, we're talking about predictions. So the participant-centric analysis, this is something else that Optimal Sort does. It sort of automates that process, but not quite. It gives you an idea. It gives you generally the 3 best IEAs, if you want. But these are suggestions. It's not, you still have some work to do based on this. So, and it tells you also that out of X number of participants, so many groups similarly, not precisely, similarly, 31 and 18. So it gives you the 3 best options. Now, is there a way to get the best option period? Is there a way to automate this? And this is where something absolutely crazy happened to me. Do you have to go? You do? Okay. I don't know. So, I don't know how many of you know this book. This is Pervasive Information Architecture. It was written, it was published a year and a half ago by my friend Andrea Vasini and his writing partner Luca Rosati, and it's one of the most important books on information architecture you'll ever read after the Polar Bear. That's the foundation. This is all right. Tip hat. So anyway, a few months ago, I went. I'm from Italy, so in January I went to Italy for a few days to visit with my family, and it was winter, and in Europe, winter sucks. You know, snows. You don't want to fly. I mean, if you can avoid it, you take the train. Unfortunately, from here to there, there's not a train. Even Google Maps these days tells you that you cannot swim across the Atlantic as you could years ago apparently. So anyway, I live in Milan, which is the town where I'm from, and I get to Zurich, where I'm supposed to get on a plane for London, and I'm snowed in. And of course, you know, I'm not traveling with my children, so it doesn't really faze me. I'll get home a little later. It's not a big deal. So I sit down and get a cup of coffee because I drink coffee. I sit down with this book. And after a little bit, I don't know, I lost track of time. I was kind of paying attention to the alerts, etc., but not so much. And I don't speak German, so it didn't really matter, right? But I could see the gate. So after a while, this guy, kind of skinny, nerdy guy, sits here. Sits at my table, and he's like, you know, he has this kind of funny Irish accent. He sits at my table and he asks me, "Are you an information architect?" And I'm like, "What? No, I read this for fun." So I said yes, you know. So we started talking, and it turns out that he's not an information architect, but he's interested in information architecture. And so the delay increases, and now we're looking at 5-6 hours of, you know, snowed in. And so we get lunch, we get some food, and we get a beer. And nothing untoward happened, but something really crazy happened. My husband is here, so I'm going to say whatever. Okay. So anyway, I started talking to this guy, and it turns out he has a crazy interesting story. He is a trained mathematician. He has a PhD in mathematics, and came to the United States, and that's why I could understand him, because Irish accent is impossible for me. But so comes here to work on algorithms for the gambling industry. And so he's working on these crazy mathematical computations that predict the possibilities, that detect patterns into, you know, cheating and all this crazy stuff. I could not understand half the things he said, but it was really interesting. And I have another friend that does this kind of things, but who's tried to explain it to me here. So anyway, we started talking, and he tells me that while he was in Reno, he spent a lot of time in casinos, and he got really interested about the verbal patterns of players, of gamblers, and he started noticing certain trends. So he decided that he didn't want to have anything to do with gambling anymore, went back to school. He actually went back. This is him. The name might or might not be real. He is really, really kind of paranoid about his research, so it might or might not be. But so he went back to Queen's University in Belfast, and they have this amazing anthropology department, and they have this Institute of Cognition and Culture, and got his second PhD with this thing that makes no sense: predictive cognitive semantic analysis, an algorithm for placemaking cross-channel experiences. So of course, you know, he sees that book, he goes crazy, right? So anyway, eventually we managed to get on our flight to London, and we parted ways. He was going to Belfast, I was coming back to the States, but we stayed in touch, you know, and he had told me about his work on this predictive cognitive semantic analysis. You know, I call it PIXA, which is a lot easier, and I can pronounce it without tongue twisting. So he said that while he was writing his dissertation, he had sort of an epiphany, and in his words, this is an email that he sent to me. I had an intuition that by interpolating results of best merged dendrograms, remember the second one, the one that we can do with anti-pattern libraries, and I have no idea what those are, and text readability scores, which are the ones that when you look at SEO, tell you this document is readable at this level, and therefore you're hitting, you're hitting your target market or not, would accurately predict the boundaries of cognitive and semantic mapping. And I was like, that sounds lovely. What does it mean? So, as I said, he's really interesting. I hope he comes to the States and gives us, gives a talk, because this stuff is crazy fascinating. So he said that his algorithm could take the results of a card sort, match it with readability scores, cross something with online dictionaries, check the competition, match against, say, you could indicate what your competitors were, and so it would do like a keyword, would do a keyword analysis, and it would spit out the perfect site navigation. So he would build a taxonomy for you and spit out the site navigation. So I saw a prototype, and I gotta tell you, I used an Italian website, so, I knew that there were less chances that he would cheat. I'm telling you, it blew my mind. Like, I put keywords from this Italian website into this sort of prototype that he had. And I don't remember how much time it was because we were talking, so I wasn't paying attention. It spat out the exact navigation structure of the site I was looking at. I was like, oh my God, this is magic. Let's try it again. So I did it with a prototype that I'm working on for a client. So the site is not indexed by Google. Because, I'm skeptic. I want to see if it was really working. Amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing. So I really wish I could show you this. I mean, it took everything I had to even allow him to talk about this. But he will not show me, he would not give me a prototype, but he gave me the basic theories that he based his research on. And I Googled them, and I cannot understand any of them. So, theory of brain modeling, I have no idea. If you know what it is, do tell me. Cognitive dissent theory, these I can kind of maybe understand, but I don't know. But so there's a slide at the end with references to all these theories. So Ty, I see you're writing, but there's a slide, right? The systemic distribution of neural pathways model is unattributed. He wasn't really sure. I mean, this stuff is really crazy. But so this is cognitive theory. Fibonacci sequence, everybody knows. So he took 3 cognitive and neurological theories, 2 mathematical theories, the Fibonacci sequence and the limit of consecutive quotients paradox, which is a derivative of Kepler's that gave its derivative work that it did on Fibonacci sequence, and then this structural Malta approach to card sorting, which is crazy thing that they do in the Mediterranean that I had never heard about, and I bet, Priyanka, did you hear about that? I know, right? It is crazy stuff, but you have all the resources at the end. So anyway, he takes all this stuff, mixes it together, and does this prototype. I asked him, can I show the prototype? And he said, NDA, no way, because and I understand that. The reason why he doesn't want to show it is because aside from academic consideration, I think he's patenting the technology, but also the commercial implications are incredible. This is phenomenal. So he expects to release the tool in 2014, early 2014, both the tool and the API. And he told me that I could say that the tool will allow you to do this, will give you this. A solid taxonomy, comparable sitemaps, and by comparable sitemaps, I'm referring to the experiment that I did earlier with Italian websites, where the sitemaps are going to be accurate to what they would be if you did your own analysis by yourself and would match commercial equivalents with a confidence interval of 97.2% to 99.71%, which is incredible. I mean, it's just like, it blows your mind. I can't wrap my mind around that. Sounds like magic. And then, of course, increased findability, better SEO, and all that good stuff. So, 2014, I hope it's going to come out. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, you know, geniuses, you can't really count on them. So, you know, they tend to be flaky. We have a variety in here that we know about, right?
So Tesla heads.
Yeah, no. So no, I was looking at someone right there in the back row, but no. So he's PICSA, predictive cognitive semantic analysis, the future. I made that stuff up. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's impossible. We are PICSA. We are the predictive. We have PICSA here. And you don't need to know math. I see a few people that are going to wait for me. Wait for me. I think Charlie thought I need bodyguards. We're PICSA. We have it in our brain. I mean, singularity, maybe it'll come in 5, 10, 15 years. We're not there yet. We're our own singularity. Realistically, card sorting. I mean, we've got to do some work. There's, you know, we need to put ourselves up. I preach. Pretty much every talk I give, which is not very many, but I do. I preach about putting ourselves into the work that we do. So, card sorting are tests. They can help us vet decisions, define information, and improve the findability of what we're working on. But nobody can spit it out for you. Concretely, the only things that we can get is data that supports our decision and a user-centered taxonomy, which is really what we should strive for. The users, with their own pixels in here, are the ones that need to find information. You want them to be the ones that help you define where it's at, where it lives. What card sorting doesn't help you with, it doesn't help you with bad content. It's not, I mean, if you have the worst content on the planet, you can have the best taxonomy, you can have the best information architecture, you can have the best navigation system. It's not going to help. So you got to work on that. It cannot help you fix bad design. However, it is proven, this is real, I'm not making this up, that even sites that have horrid design, if the content is good and if the structure is somewhat reasonable, yield better. But, you know, they rank higher in terms of findability than sites with exceptionally good design but no structure whatsoever. I have a few examples in mind. Card sorting doesn't help you generate sitemaps per se. No PICSA doesn't do it. Card sorting helps you inform your own thinking in terms of generating card maps. If you remember when we were looking at the similarity matrix and the standardized grid, you know, there's a lot of math that go in there, but that's math that's already been done for you. even if you don't have a background in statistics, and you can still look at that information and recognize the patterns. That's what we do. We're in the business of recognizing patterns and making them accessible. So you can still do that. You don't need to be a scientist. The science is already being taken care of for you. Card sorting doesn't help you lose weight, but it might help you find information about losing weight. And card sorting doesn't help you with the lottery, but you'll pick some. So here we have created a few resources in terms of card sorting and taxonomies. This is the Bible that I was talking about. My friend Donna, she's in Australia, in Canberra. If you're seeing us, this is you. It was published in 2009 by Rosenfeld Media, and to this day, nothing better has been written about card sorting. What happened? What's up? I think the projector. I think it died.
No, I don't think so.
Didn't like your jokes.
I know, right? Well, these two slides we can do without projector.
It's coming back.
It's gonna fix out its mind. So we put some books that we think are really important when you think in terms of taxonomy, information architecture, and sitemaps. It's all right, Mike. We're done. There's a slide with real online card sorting tools. Some are free, some are paid, some are the ones that I use, some are the ones that our colleagues use. And also, for those who are mathematically inclined, I posted a link to 3 spreadsheets that are used to generate similarity matrices, and do card sorting analysis, and those were created by, again, Donna Spencer, the goddess, Joe Lamantia, and Mike Rice, who are also incredibly generous people of their time and their knowledge. If you have questions, not only their spreadsheets are fully commented, and they're fully explained, and they have PDFs, and again, I'm not making this up, this is for real. They're also very generous of their time. So if you have a question, you can email them, you can ping them on Twitter. They're very active in the community, and they'll help you. And this was from Jesse. Yes. We're doing our last slide together.
Oh yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming.
I think we have, the time's over. Can we buy like 10 more minutes so we can do the peer-to-peer learning activity? Are we going to get kicked out? Are they going to start turning off the AC? And no? Do you want to do it at the bar? No. Do this BW3s. You're going to be like blasting NASCAR or something. No. I'm going to do a couple questions. So the idea here is that these are questions that people wrote on their post-it notes when they came in. And a lot of them, when we sorted through them, we were able to get to an answer today, and we're really happy about that. We have a couple of questions that I think are really great questions that we didn't cover in our discussion that I want Alberta and I to be able to take a stab at. And then there's some questions in here that I have absolutely no idea. And what I need from that is I need for the people in the community here that have done extensive taxonomy work, I need them to step up and give their answer. So I'm going to go ahead and read the question. If you are having your name called, raise your hand so we know it's your question. And then if you've got more to add on after we've talked about it, go ahead and let us know. So the first question is, where's the one that I liked? That's a good one. How do you create a taxonomy from scratch? Okay. So my response to that would be that you generate all the terms possible, kind of follow the plan that we talked about, generate all the terms possible, and you're probably going to consider yourself more of an editor. Doing the open card sort, it's a good way to start if you're having a hard time with categories. And looking at competitive kind of sources, I think, is a good way to do it. You want to add on that? Okay. Here's a good one. Do we still need sitemaps, or can we clear taxonomy enough so navigation is clear? Or can we create? So basically, like, once we've created a taxonomy, do we need sitemap stuff?
I mean, the one thing that's not clear for me in this question, are we talking about sitemaps for internal use, or are we talking about sitemaps that you see on the website? In either case, I think that we do need sitemaps. Not necessarily on a website, but you do need sitemaps because of what we're talking about in terms of polyhierarchy. So you want to know which kind of information you have available so you can distribute it across navigation if needed. Or you can create secondary navigation items per page or subsection, which you can do if you don't have sitemap.
And that question is from Alexa. Alexa.
Hi, Alexa.
Could you possibly come up and grab the microphone so we can hear you? Is that possible? I'm sorry.
Hello. So I was just saying that no matter what you do internally, you do need to have sitemaps for SEO purposes. This is how search engines will help search engines find your content.
Can you introduce yourself too?
I'm Eliza Shamshian, and I'm an SEO manager.
There you go. Thank you. See, expert. Question from Andrew. Andrew Pogany. Hey, can you raise your hand? Are you here, Andrew?
Andrew?
Andrew's gone.
Andrew's gone.
Oh, we just left. Okay. We're going to ask this question anyway. Somebody can report to him. Have you ever used Mallet for topic modeling to inform taxonomy, positives or negatives? I have no idea.
What is Mallet?
Anybody? Mallet? Any experts on Mallet? Anybody use Mallet?
Mallet 1, Mallet 2.
Yes, please come up.
Again.
Mallet is actually a tool that's used by a lot of digital humanists and for topic modeling. So they basically feed in a bunch of text, anything from the site. So you can take most of the keywords, anything that you use, feed it into Mallet, and it'll like get out a ton of categories, and usually it'll predefine them, and then you can do it. It's a free tool. Anyway.
So it's like a more structural based.
More structural based, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And could you introduce yourself?
Okay.
I want to ask So this is Megan Golick. She is done with her master's in library sciences, and she was one of the co-organizers with me of World by Davis. So thanks, Megan.
Okay. Here's another super awesome question from Carl. Question is, where does big data coincide with taxonomy? I have no idea. Experts? Big data experts, taxonomists out there? Yeah, she wants to take it.
Well, I do in real life, when I don't make stories up, I do work with big data and health data, and we process about 800 million records per year. So taxonomy becomes important when you have to take all this data and make it available to public, which we do. You want to organize the data in a structure that we like to say that goes beyond the spreadsheet or goes beyond the SQL, where we have row and row and row, and you want to be able to produce meaningful categorizations and meaningful groupings in human language. I think for taxonomy, and in this context, when it comes to big data, taxonomy becomes especially helpful in conveying large numbers and complex concepts and translating them into human readable language or human understandable language. Anybody wants to add anything? They want to go drink.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. There's so many great questions here.
Well,
Okay,
you know,
cool. That's an awesome suggestion. I want to say whoever wrote "What is the difference between taxonomy and taxidermy?" is my new favorite person.
Let's give a big round of applause to round of applause
all of the information is on there so you can see it. If you're not a member of the Information Architecture Institute, go do that. Buy the Polar Bear book, buy Pervasive. Alberta, keep your imaginary friends out next time. You don't All right, Mike's going to come up. Let's give a round of applause to Ticketmaster.
Thank you. First, a couple quick things. First of all, someone dropped their parking validation. I have extra parking validation tickets if you don't have yours, but somebody dropped theirs, so please make sure you have yours before you leave. If you don't, it's probably going to cost you $5